Good morning. This is Angel with Empowering the Business of You. I hope you're having a fantastic morning, a great December. It's December 4th, and it's early in the month. We've got great things ahead of us. We're ending off the decade 2019, and hopefully, we're all gearing up to end it in a powerful way. I wanted to have a consulting conversation that I normally would have with a client for those of you that are business minded or excited about change or looking to make a difference. I wanted to talk to you about what it means to pay it forward. When we think of the term paying it forward, we think just about, oh my gosh, I've got to sacrifice myself and I've got to give back to somebody. And the reality is that a lot of us got to where we are. I know I got to where I am because someone paid it forward to me. There's information, there's collapsing of time. There is something that you have that someone else needs, and you can pay it forward because we're all trying to get to the next destination. So wherever you are in life, in business, in transition, as hard as it seems where we are now, the reality is where you are now is not where you were yesterday, and it's further along than someone else. One of the great things I heard over the last weeks, and I've been quoting this for at least a month. I had met Lisa Nichols and did a conference with her, and then had an opportunity to go to her conference in Long Beach, no, Newport Beach. And one of the things that she said was this. She said, look, don't compare your beginning to my middle. And when she said that, it really opened up a paradigm for me, because when we look at other people and we are searching for, motivation, or our judgment comes up, or even, jealousy or envy comes up, and we think, why not us, or I'm better, or I'm this, or I'm that. And it's really clear that that comparison factor can be an issue, or it can be a motivation, but don't let it distract you from your own goals. Don't let where you're supposed to be become a distraction for you, because you're constantly looking at where you're not. And those are the things in business that can deter you from accomplishing your goals. You've got things that you're supposed to do, you've got people that you're supposed to meet. But sometimes for you to release your next level, you have to look back. You've got to address the people that are in your community, or people that are trying to get where you are. Some of you have jobs, opportunities, contacts that can be a conduit for someone else. And you don't even realize who you're helping. You could help someone that could make the difference in your life. You could be helping someone that could be a benefit or blessing to you, but because you are blocking them, or because you think they're trying to get something from you, or it's going to take something from you for you to give to them, then you stop yourself because you don't want to function at a deficit. But sometimes that is your blessing. And so for me, a lot of times, some people come up and they'll say, Angel, will you mentor me? Will you do this? And because time is one of our greatest commodities, we don't have all the time in the world. But what you do have is you do have the authority to decide what you're going to do with your time. So when you pick and choose the people to invest in, when you pick and choose the people to help, you just want to make sure that they are going to receive it well, and that you're doing it from a great place. You're doing it from an authentic place, because once you do it, once you give it, then you can't control what the other person is going to do with it. And so that's the part that you have to let go. Help who you can help, be a conduit to who you can be a conduit for, because someone is preparing to be a conduit for you. There's something that you need that someone else has. And so when you position yourself in a space of paying it forward, giving, being a blessing, then it's easier for you to receive on the other side. And even in speaking in that, some of you have a problem receiving. So when you're constantly paying it forward, constantly giving to other people, then you're used to being the one in charge. You're used to being the one with the information. You're used to being the one that everyone gravitates to, everyone pulls on. You're used to being the smartest one in the room. Well, when you're the smartest one in the room, change the room because it needs to be uncomfortable. You can pay it forward to other people. You can be a blessing to other people, but realize that for someone to bless you, for someone to pour into you, they have to be better, further, greater, more advanced, doing more deals, doing more things, expanding a territory that you're not used to. And so in that uncomfortable state, put yourself in spaces that are uncomfortable so that you can get the stretch, increase in capacity, and be there ready to receive when they are going to pay it forward. Be in the space of other people that are willing to pay it forward, willing to share, willing to train, willing to expose. Everyone is not harboring it or holding it on for themselves. This world is filled with abundance, and it's time for me, it's time for us to stop acting like there's scarcity. Because the moment we start acting like there's scarcity and we don't give to other people, then what's going to happen is that it's going to lock up and you're going to be limited on the level that you're on. You want other people to pour into you, be prepared to pour into others. You want other people to give into you, be prepared to give into others. And this is a season of giving. And I'm not just talking about money or things that'll cost you. Someone needs your information. Someone needs your experience. Someone needs someone needs what you have in your mind, in your heart. Someone needs your contact. Someone needs you to be the conduit. Someone needs you to introduce them to someone else. You can introduce someone and it can make a difference in someone's life forever because you've given them a way into something. Don't you want that for yourself? Don't you want someone to give you the way into something, give you a key, open up a door for you? So let's begin in the spirit of giving, begin in the spirit of this season, begin in what it means to sacrifice, not just in gifts and bows and material things and all of the Christmas parties. Let's think about what it means to give to each other in a more dynamic way. And again, what I mean by that is giving of yourself and paying it forward. And not paying it forward knowing that, oh, if I pay it forward, someone's going to pay it forward to me. It is just the natural course of what happens in this reaping and sowing world that we live in. It's a biblical, godly principle that is not going to come back void. You plant something, you put something in the ground, you plant a seed, you water it, it is going to sprout up. Something's going to come back from it. But what are you planting? What are you doing? What are you giving? What are you sharing? And so begin to get into that space, because that muscle, as it begins to grow, then the world will open up. There's a lady that I work with. Her name is Robbie Motter. She is 87 years old, and man, she's on the grind. She's traveling, she's leading networks, she's getting awards, Women of the Year, this and that. And I'm in one of her networking groups. And she called me and she said, Angel, I need you to speak to this group in Oceanside. Can you speak to my group in Menifee? Now, I don't know if any of you know where I live, but it is nowhere close to Menifee, California. And I love my Menifee people. But because she asked, because she's given to me, because she's opened up opportunity, because she thinks of me when opportunity comes, it is not a problem for me to open up my schedule and say, you know what, I will do it for you. I will go. I'll make it work. And because I do that, then when things come up, I'm the person that she thinks about, because she's on my side, because I'm open to giving. I'm open to giving my time, my gas, my energy, my all. When I show up like, I show up in a room of 20, 30 people as if it is 300, and I'm going to give it to them. And so it's in that same fervor that when you do things, don't be disappointed when you show up and the audience is small. Don't be disappointed when you show up and the room is small. You treat them, you execute as if it's the biggest stage of your life, and someone in there will be inspired, moved. They will give in. They'll be able to attach to what you're saying, and they'll connect to your authenticity, your story, because they know that, hey, this person gives their all. So pay it forward even in the rooms that you're in. Don't give less because it's not your expectation. Don't give less because, oh, this client, they're only getting one thing. Who knows who they know? Who knows who they're related to? Who knows what they'll need in the future? Who knows what's going on in their life? Maybe they're in a rough patch and they need you to execute this one thing, but because you treated them with excellence, because you treated them as if they had the world, then when they do get to their next level, they'll remember you. So, in the spirit of paying it forward, just remember in this season of giving that it is about giving of yourself, your time, your energy, your resources, the things that you have to offer to make a difference in someone else's life. And if you do that, and if you do it from an authentic place, I assure you, I know that things will open up for you. You are preparing for the next decade. You are preparing for 2020. This is our run to lay down the ground, lay down some foundation, lay down some thoughts, lay down some ideas, lay down our vision, lay it down in a way that when next year occurs, when 2020 occurs, when the next week occurs, when even tomorrow occurs, it knows that you are not showing up the same way. You are not showing up the same way to do business as usual. You're going to do it more excellent and you're going to do it better. I had a conversation with my sister yesterday. I had some things going on. I had some calls. I had some things that popped up that I wasn't expecting, but I realized that it was a pattern in some of the things that happened with my business with me. And I was talking to my sister, and as I was talking to her, as a few things came up around, you know what? I'm not taking this with me anymore. I told my sister, I don't want to have this conversation again. The conversations I want to have with you are going to be different. I want different problems. I want different issues. I want different celebrations. I want different, things that are showing up for me. And the only way that it's going to be different. And even some of you are like, oh, problems? I don't want any problems. Well, guess what? At every level, there's a series of problems. You just want to have different ones, right? It's just different. Even if you're materialistic and you're like, oh, I got to change my tire. Well, you'd rather change the tire on a nicer car. So just, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by the problem being different. It's being different because you're different, but it's going to come. But it doesn't matter because if you handle it with grace, if you're prepared for it, if it's not a surprise, if there's no issue, if you have your finances in place, if you have your savings in place, if you've got emergency funds in place, if you're doing the right things, if you're preparing for the things that are just a part of life. It's raining today, and guess what? It rains on the just and unjust. It is raining on everybody. There is not someone walking around with sun beaming on their head and they're not getting wet. They're just getting wet differently. Someone's getting wet on their head, on their hair. Someone's wearing a hat. Someone has an umbrella. Someone has a raincoat. Someone's in a car and the windshield wipers are going. How are you getting wet? How are you preparing for it? So I know that's a little bit to the right, but I just felt inspired to share that. Let's go get this. Let's go get this together. Let's expand together. Let's make now better. The day is early, and if you listen to this later, you still have right now. And whatever it is that you have, there can be a shift in the trajectory that will change your life forever. Make those decisions for yourself now. I love you. Have an amazing day. It's December 4th. We've got the month ahead. There's amazing things going on in the season. Celebrations, love, family, remembrance, legacy. There's people to remember. There's people that sacrifice. There's people that aren't here anymore, that did something great in their life to make an impact on others. Hold their legacy true. Spread the conversation, the spirit, the love that they had when they deposited in you. It's because it was for yours to have for a season. What are you going to do with it? So do something great. Don't let it be in vain. I've lost people in my life, and I will not allow their memory, the legacy, the things they've deposited, the things I've experienced from them. I'm not going to let it be in vain. And so let's go and get it. So let's be greater. I'm having a hard time letting you go. Let's just be greater. And I'm excited about our future. And if you want to hit me up, feel free to message me in the office still, execonthego.com, helping people with business. This message is part of a series, Empowering the Business of You, with one of my associates and friends, Bernadette Gambino. We have a conference coming up in February. There's a lot of conferences coming up. 2020 Blueprint Session 5 conferences coming up. There's amazing things coming down the pike. Let's get ready for it. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.